Tabled. Question number 9, Kelvin Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Corrections, does he stand by all his statements from question time on Wednesday the 26th of November?
The Honourable Pesata Sam Lottawinga.
Yes.
Supplementary question, Kelvin Davis.
Does he stand by his statement that Philip Smith's obtaining of a passport was legitimate?
The Honourable Pesata Sam Lottawinga.
Mr. Speaker, yes, my understanding of the Passports Act is that prisoners do not automatically lose the right to be issued with a passport. And as I've already said in this House, that decision is a matter for the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Supplementary.
Order. Honourable, the supplementary question, Kelvin Davis.
So then, why does he believe the passport was issued legitimately when Minister Peter Dunn has said it would not have been approved, and Section 4 of the Passports Act provides that passports should not be issued to people under a sentence which requires them to remain in New Zealand?
The Honourable Pesata Sam Lottawinga.
Well, with respect to the first part of that question, you'll have to ask Peter Dunn that.
Supplementary question. Order. Supplementary question. Order. Supplementary question, Kelvin Davis.
Supplementary. When the police said Mr. Smith had help in obtaining his passport, was the help they were referring to from the Department of Corrections, and that they apparently legitimately helped him obtain a passport?
The Honourable Pesata Sam Lottawinga.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I don't agree with what he's just said in terms of what the police have said.
Order. I'm going to ask the member to repeat the question.
Okay, supplementary. When the police said Smith had help in obtaining his passport, was the help they were referring to from the Department of Corrections, and that he could apparently legitimately obtain a passport?
Well, no.
The Honourable
Mr. Speaker, no,
Sam
the
Lottawinga.
Department of Corrections did not help him obtain the passport.
Supplementary question, Kelvin Davis.
Will his utter confusion about the legitimacy of Smith's passport be one of the matters looked into in the review of the failures of interdepartmental communication?
Very marginal, but I'll allow the member, the Minister, Honourable Pesata Sam Lottawinga.
Mr. Speaker, as I've said in this House already, that the interdepartmental inquiry, the government inquiry, will deal with matters between agencies.
Question number 10.